I'm Jimmy Apple, the EMS Avenger, and I am here with Dr. Matt Levy and John from Compression Works, and we're going to be talking about a pretty cool call that they were on where there was a piece of equipment used in a really interesting way. Dr. Levy, you are the medical director for
Howard County Fire and Rescue in Howard County, Maryland.
Okay, and John, you're with Compression Works. What's your role there?
I'm the chief medical officer and the inventor of the abdominal aortic injectional tourniquet.
Okay, and I've done content on that. You can go through my video library to find that. Dr. Levy, you are in a position to be able to monitor traffic for what's going on in your coverage area. And there was a call where a garbage truck rear-ended a semi.
That's right.
And there were a lot of people that were injured in there, including one person who unfortunately did not make it. And so we had 3 people in that garbage truck. The driver did not make it, but 2 of the other people in there were actually entrapped.
That's right.
And so you kind of like, the context to this is that you had a call in the past where someone actually could have had a junctional tourniquet applied. And so you guys actually went out and got junctional tourniquets, right?
Yeah, we've recognized the fact that there are these cases for prolonged entrapment, particularly with lower extremity trauma, that as soon as we extract the patient, as soon as we relieve the pressure, they open up and they bleed out. And so we wanted to make sure we had a countermeasure for that and a way that we can mitigate that threat.
Okay. So you have this call right here. You are monitoring the traffic. And so you go out there to actually provide medical direction on scene, which is a great resource for crews to have. And so you have these 2 people that are entrapped. And something that you're concerned about is what happens when you actually release what's actually kind of impinging against them. They're going to be a wide open container, potentially with a lot of holes in them, right? And so a great tool to have there would be a junctional tourniquet, kind of like the AAJT that is sold by Compression Works. And you are prepared to apply this tool when they're released.
That's right. That's right. We had as we were getting ready, so just to paint the picture, cold morning, around 20 degrees, the side of a busy interstate highway. These people were both entrapped for over an hour and a half. They had already received pre-hospital warm blood. They'd already received excellent pre-hospital care by our clinicians. And at this point, we were getting ready they had to first winch the dump truck back off of the tractor trailer. And we're getting ready to then spread the dashboard off of the patients. We knew that there was reasonable concern that these patients could go into hemorrhagic circulatory collapse. So we had that countermeasure ready where we pre-deployed and pre-staged a pelvic binder abdominal tourniquet device that would allow us to address whatever threat we encountered afterwards.
And you mentioning the pelvic binder is a perfect segue into how you ended up using the junctional tourniquet. And let's just say that the plan would have been, if they were released and they just absolutely crunked.
That's right.
Then you're going to apply that junctional tourniquet to apply pressure to the descending aorta so you can stop the bleed, right?
That's exactly right.
You release them. Hemodynamic status isn't as much as a concern as you thought it could be.
Yeah.
However, they have tenderness around the pelvis. You suspect they have a pelvic fracture. And so you have a perfect tool to apply compression to the pelvis.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, they're in a shock state at that point. They're hypotensive. They're cold. They're mentating, but they're still with concern for significant trauma. They have pelvic tenderness and a mechanism of injury that would suggest high-speed trauma and concern for a pelvic fracture. So the device was there. We were able to apply it as a pelvic binder. And it went on very quickly, very effortlessly. And then we quickly extricated them and got them off the scene into an ambulance where we did a tertiary exam and then loaded them into helicopters and got them to the trauma centers.
This is just a great example of progressive medical treatment, having medical director involvement, whole blood in the field, and having some progressive tools to help you not only in like a prophylactic means, but also in a very therapeutic means. So great work.
Thank you. I would also add, if I can for a second, Jimmy, we work really closely with our partners at the Shock Trauma Go team at the University of Maryland. They were on scene with us. So in addition to having myself as an EMS physician, we had a trauma surgeon and CRNA with us. So we were really prepared for whatever we might encounter to save these lives. We ended up with over 22 units of blood on scene in case we needed it. And it takes a village. It takes a system. Every single person has an important role. And when the system comes together to help ensure the best outcome possible, it's really powerful.
Excellent.